Welcome to the Grizzly Growl Show.
Woo-hoo!
Glad to have everybody aboard here, and we're also glad to have GGC Women's Soccer, who's going to play the latest craze that's sweeping the nation, and guess who?
All right.
It's going to be a lot of fun. We're also going to have a lot of fun with Dr. Amanda Sepulveda. She is our faculty athletics representative here with GGC, and she's here to educate us all. It's going to be great. Which leads me to this. GGC Athletics is committed to develop lifelong leaders of character through academic and athletic excellence. That is our mission statement, and we live it every day. Notice the academic part comes before the athletic part. And a big reason for that is when you walk past that trophy case and see the conference and national championship titles fill that room, don't be too distracted to notice on the other side of the hallway is the AD honor roll board. Consistently, more than half the Grizzlies find their names on that wall by earning a 3.0 GPA or higher each and every semester. So here at GGC, we receive NAIA recognition all the time for team GPAs and academic All-Americans who don the green and gray. And even next month, more than a dozen Grizzlies will walk across that stage at graduation earning their degree at Georgia Gwinnett College. Even though the Grizzlies through this pandemic haven't captured too much athletic success, they certainly are working hard behind the scenes at the academic success. And today's guest on the show, Dr. S, is a huge part of that. We'll have her next on the Grizzly Digital Network. This is the view from the Grizzly Soccer Complex, home to both the men's and women's soccer programs at Georgia Gwinnett College. This state-of-the-art playing turf provides an outstanding surface for elite-level competition. The on-campus facility features laser-graded technology, an advanced drainage system, and team dugout-style seating. The Grizzly Soccer Complex hosts not only two top-notch soccer programs, but conference and national tournaments as well. For more information on our first-class facility, visit our facility page at ggcathletics.com. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, inside Studio 5, and the fun keeps rolling on here inside the Grizzly Growl Show. We have a wonderful guest for you today. I can't wait for you guys to get to know her. It is Dr. Amanda Sepulveda. She is a professor here at GGC and our faculty athletics representative. Amanda, how are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I am fantastic. I'm so glad to have you on the show here. GGC gets a lot of credit for winning championships and putting trophies into trophy cases, but they get the job done in the classroom too as well, and you're a huge part of that. So we'll get into that in just a moment, but Thank you so much for being on the show here today. I got to ask you out of the gate here, amongst all the craziness and pandemic, how are you doing? How's the family? I know career has changed a little bit on campus and trying to teach in this environment. How are you?
We're good. My husband actually works here too, which we'll probably talk about, but our family's good. Everybody's healthy, so we're adjusting pretty well, I think.
I just wanted to start with your journey a little bit and tell your story. How did you get into teaching, and at what point did you say, teaching at higher education was for me?
I still never thought I would teach. I wasn't really sure what I would do. And I graduated from college and was like, still don't have a job. Still don't know what I'm going to do.
Just delayed that process by going to college.
And then Auburn was like, well, if you just keep going to school, like, we'll pay for your school and you can, work for us some. And I was like, okay. And so I went to a master's program, and the rest is kind of history. But it definitely a slow thing. I don't have teachers in my family or anything like that. So it was just kind of a slow process of going through grad school and getting some training specifically for teaching and realizing I kind of had a knack for it. And the rest is history, yeah.
Very cool. You could probably give us an oral history of GGC athletics. If you were here in 2010, you've seen this real estate, what it looked like. This building wasn't even here.
It wasn't here, no.
Neither was the studio or none of it. We didn't have athletes or anything like it. So
nope.
As athletics becomes a part of Georgia Gwinnett College, how did you end up getting involved with the athletic department in your time?
Yeah, before, when I got here, of course, I knew that there wasn't any athletics, but it kind of slowly I began to realize that we were growing some athletics, and I didn't know a lot about it. Really, how I got involved here is the person who had this position before me, Suzanne Biedenbach. She was just one of my really close friends. And so I actually knew before most people that she was going to be leaving, because we were friends. And when I found out, I was kind of like, well, what about your FAR position? And I wanted it. I was like, I would love to have that position. And she also thought that it would be good for me. I've always been athletic. I did athletic things since I could walk, and have always been interested in it. And so she was like, well, we'll hook you up with a meeting with Dr. Potter and just see,
Well, you mentioned FAR, Faculty Athletic Representative. FAR is the acronym for it. Describe what that person does. You don't have to speak in the third person, but
Yeah,
describe what you do for our student athletes in the athletic department.
Right. So a FAR is a faculty member, so you have to be a full-time faculty member. And then my office is here in the athletic building. But basically, I would say one of my main tasks is just advising student athletes. So I have a lot of my mentees are now, they're athletes. I still have other mentees who aren't athletes, but so I do a lot of just academic advising. These are the kind of classes you should take. I advise athletes that are not my mentees for sure, because they'll get advice from their mentor and then they want to check with me if, about eligibility and other things like that. So a lot of advising, a lot of just answering emails and texts about students kind of panicking about a class or, grades or eligibility. So there's definitely a lot of that. And I like to do it. It's a way that, I keep in touch with all the athletes and my other students too. I find a lot of tutors, so like if students are struggling in a certain discipline, especially now with COVID, they can't just like walk in the tutoring center or whatever. So I'll try to hook them up with specific tutors and show them how to get online tutoring and stuff like that. So that's important. Let's see. But yeah, and a lot of just general questions, even if they're questions I can't answer. So if they're like financial aid related, I don't have access to that information or whatever, I'll still find them the person. Even like just this week, I got a student asking me questions about like, should they change their major? And they were thinking about changing from English to business. And so I met with them and talked about, we just talked about like what an English major was and what the pros were and the cons. And then I even set them up with another English faculty member so that way they could get at least two perspectives. It's a huge decision to change your major, to think about your life career. So I do that a lot. Like I'll find other faculty to meet with so they can kind of get ideas about careers or whatever.
I think you mentioned a super diverse GDC campus. I think one of the most fascinating things that I love sharing and telling the stories of our international students, and describe some of the challenges. You mentioned them just being homesick and want somebody to talk to outside of their program. Describe some of those challenges that international students have versus our local or American-born student athletes that we have.
Well, homesickness is for real. It also happens to students who are just like a state away or something, so it's not that uncommon. But they can't, if you're international, typically, it's not like you can go home for the weekend or like maybe even for like Thanksgiving or something like that. It's very difficult to fly home. So I know that that's hard for a lot of internationals, especially our younger internationals. They're not used to being on their own and being away from home. A lot of them aren't. And I think definitely there is a cultural kind of adjustment. Everything from our education system can be very different. I was just meeting with a Swedish student athlete, and their education system is very different. When they go to college, they typically go into their program. So like if they're going in exercise science, they go into exercise science. They don't like do 2 years of like a core, a general education course. So it's very different. So those academic differences, the cultural differences, language differences are obviously something that they deal with. But one thing I found for international students is in a lot of cases, they're just adjusting better to the online education because they've grown up in systems that have a lot of online education. So that seems to be working well for them.
GGC has done a really good job on the field, and those athletic prowesses are in our trophy cases, and it's all over our websites and the billboards in this building. But just this past September, as in 2 months ago, the NAIA had some academic recognition to 15 Grizzlies who had a 3.5 GPA or higher, who were just juniors and seniors. They didn't even count the underclassmen. And then there was 2 teams that had team GPAs of 3.25 or better, women's soccer and softball. Are those your championship moments when you get those announcements? And but where do you get your reward in working with students?
Yeah, I mean that's awesome to hear. I mean, a 3.5 GPA is a very strong GPA, no matter what the field is. So that's something to be super proud of. Team GPAs, I think, are something to be super proud of too. I mean, you've got a whole group of people that are responsible for building those. So yeah, I think most of my reward is just kind of like daily stuff when I'm meeting with students and I'm hearing that they're doing well and they're doing well in their classes and they're adjusting well to campus life. And just knowing that I'm helping them in some way, I think is kind of just my daily reward.
Talk to me about some of the challenges that we've had to face with our student athletes this semester, and the fact that Georgia Gwinnett has gone to a hybrid model. The athletes are at least around and able to practice limitedly, but maybe not definitely out of their routine of going to class, going to practice, and going to training every single day.
Yeah, it is, and it's been harder for me meeting with students because normally I would sit down with a student, we would have a computer, and I would be able to like look around their computer and like look at their classes, and I can't even get that close to them, you know. And it's really hard now with the multi-factor authentication because I can't sit at home and like look at their grades, you know. There's just no way for me to do that. So I'm meeting with a lot of them virtually, and we can kind of talk, and then I have to kind of look up their grades afterwards and stuff. But you know, they're adjusting pretty well, and they seem pretty willing to meet me virtually. I think they like the virtual stuff. They don't have to come into my office. They can like sit at home, and it's fine with me too because I can sit at home as well. I've done some meetings from my closet because I have a lot of animals and they're very loud. But yeah, we just make it work. You know, I've met with people, like I've had my laptop in my car and like sat outside the building and met with people in my car virtually because, you know, it's just got to get done.
Again, thank you so much. You said we're making it work. Dr. S, you're making it work really well for us. And,
great, thank you.
I hope people don't get too distracted when they go downstairs and see the trophy case that's full of all the championships. Don't be distracted by the AD honor roll that's the board that's to the left of that. And we've got over half our athletes on that list every single semester. And you have a lot to do with that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
You're very welcome. Before I let you go, you see our athletes just as much as Dale or I do, and sometimes our coaches. You got a vibe for the spring? Are they excited? Do you have any predictions? I want to hear athletic predictions from our academic advisor here at GGC.
I say everybody wins everything.
Everybody wins everything.
And everybody gets cookies.
Everybody gets cookies. I like that the best. Dr. S, thank you so much for being here.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
We're going to take a break. We're going to come back with more here on the Grizzly Growl Show.
You're proudly displaying your GGC degree in a frame on a wall. We want to say thank you. Thank you for your dedication, hard work, and commitment to Georgia Gwinnett College. You are the few, the proud, the Grizzly graduates.
Subbing on for the Grizzly Growl Show, it's GGC Women's Soccer in this week's episode of Guess Who? All right, welcome, ladies. GGC Women's Soccer in the house to play Guess Who today. Grace Bullock and Ellie Todd. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Great, thank you.
Are we excited? Are we nervous?
Oh, excited. Always excited.
Always excited. How many points are you going to win by?
As many as possible.
We're going to just get them all.
You're going to get them all, right?
Yeah.
I like it. I love the attitude. I love the positivity. Okay, you guys know the rules. Ellie, you're giving the guesses. You're giving the clues first. Grace, you're going to guess, and then we'll switch, okay? Are you guys ready?
Yep.
Yeah.
On your mark, get set, go.
Really tall.
Nah.
Yep. Forward, Oh, I can't say that, can I? I'm so sorry. Sweden.
Joy.
Yeah. Bambi.
Ola.
Yeah. Goalkeeper, blonde, Sweden. Come on. You know who it is.
Matilda.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's in Germany right now.
Lena.
Yep. From Burnley, England.
Me.
Yeah. Canadian. New.
Lauren.
Yeah. Flips her hair.
Autumn.
Yeah. Crazy personality, Canada.
Kiki.
No.
Izzy.
No. Vancouver.
Maya.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sheffield.
You.
Yeah. Another Canada. You just said a name.
Izzy.
No.
Kiki.
Yep.
Okay.
Out with knee right now.
Victoria.
No other one.
Izzy.
No other one.
Time.
Oh, everyone's going to be injured.
Maya.
All right,
Man.
you guys ready?
Come on.
Okay. All right,
Right.
Grace, you ready?
Yeah.
You're giving the clues this time, Ellie. Good luck.
Come on.
Here we go. On your mark, get set, go.
Texas.
Jana.
Left-footed. Tricky.
Maria.
Yep. London.
Gabby.
Yep. The other knee person that we
Victoria.
Yeah. The other knee person.
Izzy.
Denmark.
Laura.
Yeah. Goalkeeper. The spinning.
Fiona.
Yep. Muscles.
Amber.
Yeah. Funny was in media day with us. Left back Speedy.
Mariana.
Yeah. Tiny midfielder.
Addy.
Super tricky. Yeah. Canada midfielder.
You said the position again.
Oh, sorry. Canada lives with Gabby.
This is good. Miranda.
Yep. From Brazil.
Isa.
Yep. Tall goalkeeper. Sweden.
Matilda.
Ah, said goalkeeper. Yep.
Time.
All right, we've switched sides here. We've got my Allie Budwood and Joy Mertzig. Ladies, how are you doing today?
Great. Wonderful.
What great and wonderful. I'll take that. Here we go. Who's going to be giving the clues first?
I start.
Joy, you're going to start. Maya, you're going to be guessing 1 minute on the clock. On your mark, get set, go.
Our roommate.
Natalie.
Your other roommate.
Joy Mercy.
Made us a tomato.
Ola.
I'm
gonna say James.
Same country as me.
Matilda.
Germany.
Lena.
Yeah. On the other team that we're doing this today.
Grace.
Yes. Uncoordinated. Not spring.
Autumn.
Mine and roommate. Mine and Nats.
Maya.
No, I didn't. Other team. Other person.
Ellie.
Yeah. Your twin.
Kiki.
A lot of knee surgeries.
Grace. Izzy.
No.
Amaya.
Yeah. Texas.
Yana.
I don't know.
Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go.
She's from London.
Oh, Gabby.
She's from Toronto. She's great at dancing.
Victoria.
Yes. Oh, she's about to get a knee surgery.
Easy. Izzy.
Easy.
Easy.
She's from Denmark.
Laura.
Yes. She's from Switzerland.
Fiona.
Yes. She's from Tampa. She's not Natalie Farron.
Amber.
Yes. She's Addie's cousin.
Mar.
Yes. Mars' cousin. She's really short and blonde.
Miranda.
Yes. She's from Brazil.
Isa.
The other girl from your home country.
Matilda.
Yes. She's from Switzerland.
Svenja.
Yes. We're done.
All right, we've tallied up the controversial scores. We had a do-over on this side, then we had some positions used on this side. It was rather sketchy. We might have to have a recount. There's lawyers involved. It's going to be crazy. But ultimately today, the popular vote goes to Maya, enjoy. They're our winners. They're going to take a selfie with the bear. You're going to take that home. Congratulations. Yeah, you can cuddle up with him on the couch, watch a good movie. We look forward to seeing you guys next spring out there in the fields of competition. Girls, thanks for so much being here. Really appreciate it.
Thank you. Oh.
The smack talk is real. Good luck to GGC women's soccer as they compete in a very unique spring season coming up next semester. Fans, if you don't want to miss one episode of the Grizzly Growl Show, be sure to click on the link and hit the subscribe button to our YouTube channel to check all the latest shows right here on the Grizzly Digital Network. Also, fans, download the new GGC Athletics app and be sure to turn on those notifications for the latest information. That'll do it for us here from Studio 5. For the Grizzly Growl Show, it's a great day to be a Grizzly. So long, everybody.